Images will often benefit from local adjustments, whether it's enhancing a face, changing colours, dodging and burning different areas to lighten or darken them, or any number of other local edits that you might want to make. Now, these sort of edits are really easy to do using the local adjustment tools, either here in Photoshop's Camera Raw or using the near identical tools within Lightroom's Develop module. So let's have a look at how this works. So let me get back to my starting point here. Now, the first thing I want to do here is change the color of the hat. We could do this using the local adjustment tools, or we could try using the color mixer, which allows us to target and alter these 8 color ranges within the image. Now, I can use the target tool here. If I toggle that on, I can right click and choose from either hue, saturation, or luminance. So I want to target the hue first. And then if I drag to the right or the left over the hat here, you can see how we can change the color of the hat while leaving the rest of the image pretty much untouched. So I could go for a slightly more intense blue, and then if I want to make it stronger, I can switch to saturation and boost the saturation of the blue as well. So we can make that either stronger or weaker in the same way. So that's one way we can selectively change areas of the image using the color mixer to target those color ranges. Now, we also have the local adjustment tools, the adjustment brush, the graduated filter, and the radial filter, and these all work in a similar way. If we grab the adjustment brush, we'll see a set of sliders appear, and these are very similar to the sliders that we see in the basic panel, but these apply to the area that we define with the brush. If we zoom in a little bit closer on the face here, what I can do is perhaps boost the color of the lips. I can use the left and right square bracket keys to resize my brush tip, and then I can start painting over the lips with the adjustment brush. Now, when I start painting, we see a pin appear, and this pin controls our adjustments. So if we make several adjustments, we can click on the pins to toggle between them. It can also be useful to hit Y, or if you're using Lightroom, you can hit O, and that gives you an overlay that lets you see exactly where you've painted. Now, we can change the overlay color here in the mask options. I find a nice bright green works well to contrast with my image here. So I can paint over the lips, and if I go over some areas I don't want, I can hold Alt and paint to subtract those areas from my initial mask. Then with that done, I can hit Y again to hide my mask overlay, and I can start enhancing that area using these tools. So I might want to boost the saturation to make the lips slightly stronger. I could also perhaps tweak the contrast, and if I hide and reveal that adjustment over the lips, you can see we're able to enhance the area, and we can start painting elsewhere to make more adjustments. So this time let's perhaps paint over the skin here. Again, I can hit Y to toggle my mask overlay on. I'll quickly paint over these smooth areas of skin here. Then with that done, I can apply subtle skin smoothing effect. So I'll hide my mask overlay again. Let's just go up to the top of our settings here and click on the reset icon just to reset any existing settings. And if we zoom in a little bit closer on the skin here, I can go down to my texture slider here. If I drag that to the left to apply negative texture, you can see that gives us a nice subtle skin smoothing effect over the skin. Again, if I toggle that adjustment off and on, we can see how that texture setting allows us to smooth out the skin while still retaining those delicate skin pores. So it's a really nice, simple skin smoothing technique. Now we can also use the selective adjustments to boost the eye. So let's zoom in closer to that area, and I can hit N to allow me to make a new adjustment. And again, I'll go up and reset all of my existing settings and just paint over the iris here. Again, I'll hit Y to toggle my mask overlay on. Let's do the same over the other iris here. I'll hide my mask overlay, and then I could perhaps go and boost the clarity to pull out some more detail in those irises, maybe up the shadows as well to lift the area, and perhaps up the saturation too to pull some more color out of the area. I want to keep this fairly subtle. I think shadows are slightly too strong, so let's bring that down a touch. And again, if we click and hold on the eye, we can hide that adjustment and then reveal it. I think perhaps we could boost the exposure slightly more in that area, and I'm happy with that. So you can see how we can start to build up our local adjustments in this way. Now I'd also like to change the color of the necklace here so that it matches the hat. So again, I'll start painting over the area, and I'll hit Y again to toggle my mask overlay on. Now I'm painting quite roughly this time because I'm going to show you a neat trick using range masking. If we quickly paint over that area, hit Y to hide our mask overlay, reset any existing settings. Let's perhaps go into our hue options here and tweak the hue of that area to turn the necklace blue. I think it's slightly too strong, so we'll reduce the saturation as well. Now of course we're getting this bleeding around the edges of our adjustment, but we can go into our range mask controls here. If we set this to color, then we can use the eyedropper, and then I can click on the colors in the necklace to target those color ranges to try and restrict the effect to certain colors. So I can click once and then hold shift and click to continue adding different colors into the mix, and that gives me a slightly better result. I'm still seeing some bleeding around the edges here, and that's because the color of the skin is quite close in color to the original color of the necklace. But what I can do also is grab my brush tool. Let's just toggle off my eyedropper, and I can go to my erase option here and check auto mask, and then I can paint to erase the effect from certain areas. Now with auto mask checked, the brush sort of seeks out edges within the image. So this can be very helpful when we're trying to restrict an effect just to certain areas without affecting others. So we can paint, and we don't need to be so precise with our painting when we have that auto mask option checked. So I can quickly whiz over these areas here to remove the effect around these parts of the image. And this allows me to very quickly make these precise local adjustments to different areas of the frame. And if we zoom out, we'll see how we're looking, and I'm pretty happy with that. If I hide all of those adjustments, then reveal them again, you can see the difference a few simple local adjustments can make using the adjustment brush in Camera Raw.